Hi, this is Jonathan Adams, and I'm going to be giving my final presentation. Uh, the title of it is A Deeper Look at Schizophrenia. Now, schizophrenia is something that everyone has heard of but doesn't have a direct understanding of because it's been portrayed so many different ways in media and different things such as that. Uh, it's something that people kind of think they understand or have an idea of what it is, but truthfully, uh, the understanding of it has been so skewed and so just completely portrayed in ways that it is not, that it really is hard for people to wrap their mind around it. Now, schizophrenia, defined, which is in quotation marks, because something such as schizophrenia, a mental illness as it is different and experienced differently by every person who lives with it. That's why you can't really pinpoint and actually define it. You can define it in medical terms, however, you can't necessarily define the experience that each individual person has. However, according to the National Institute of Mental Health, it is a serious mental illness that affects how a person thinks, feels, and behaves. They may seem like they've lost touch with reality. Now, this is kind of like just a feeling that you're not connected. This can really cause stress for the individual as well as their family members and friends. If left untreated, it can be very persistent and rapid and disabling. Uh, However, if treated early on, it can help the affected individuals to be able to live a regular life, whether that be with school or work or having an independent way of living, and enjoying personal relationships. Now, uh, schizophrenia was first described by Dr. Emil Kraepelin in the 19th century. He was the director of the psychiatric clinic at the University of Estonia. While he was studying schizophrenia, he obviously it was because of the variation of the effects of it. It is hard to pinpoint exactly what it was, and he first described it as premature dementia because it was experienced by younger patients, whereas dementia is something that is experienced by primarily older people. According to livingwithschizophrenia.org, Kraepelin's understanding of schizophrenia, while it was incomplete, his work was key in pioneering the way to understanding bipolar disorder. And while not necessarily was he right on the money with the idea of what schizophrenia was, his research was later then used by Eugen Bleuer. Uh, he helped develop upon Kraepelin's ideas on the diagnosis of the condition and was the first to use the term schizophrenia. He believed that patients did and show a drastic improvement as long as they sought help, and they sought and those who did not seek improvement just got progressively worse. According to the Schizophrenia Research Society, schizophrenia shortens the lifespan of people affected by the illness by at least 20 years. Now, that is very significant because those who seek help and those who find ways to cope with it often are able to make more of the life that they have, as well as see improvement in longevity of their life. And the cause of schizophrenia is not known, which there are many, many ideas of what has caused it or what could cause it, but these are just ballpark ideas. They're not. None of them have been verified, and this is also because you going back on the idea that it's different for every single person. You can't exactly pinpoint it down. And while the current treatments do help, they don't reduce the disability and the feeling that it does give. Now, some problems with schizophrenia are that there are many, many, many misconceptions on the disease. These are probably things that you are familiar with because they are simply the stereotypes that the term schizophrenia has dealt with. According to New Road Treatment, which is a schizophrenia therapy clinic, they list some common misconceptions with those who suffer with schizophrenia. Big one is that people think it means you have split personalities, which this is false. While it does have a variety of symptoms, not one involves multiple personalities. While the origin of the word schizo literally means split, this refers to gaps in a person's ability to think and express emotions. This isn't saying that they're completely having split personalities. That is referring to dissociative identity disorder or multiple personality disorder. That is completely different from schizophrenia. Another misconception is that someone who suffers from schizophrenia has tendencies for violence and anger. And it's actually rare for someone with schizophrenia to be violent. It's actually more likely for someone with schizophrenia to be the victim of violence and not the instigator. Because the way they're predicted in pop culture is as sadistic and unpredictable. It's a stigma. That's exactly what it is. Moving along, there's the idea that people with schizophrenia can't hold a job. Now, the reality of that is that stable individuals can function pretty well when staying up to date on medication and utilizing their treatments. And that holding a job is very important for someone who has schizophrenia because it offers a sense of stability and it helps them lead a normal life. There's also, finally, the misconception that schizophrenia causes sudden mood swings. While the reality of this is sudden dramatic change of character in individuals with schizophrenia is not the usual scenario there. It's more common for these things to surface over time. It's not something that happens rapidly. Looking ahead here, how can schizophrenia be prevented or improved? Well, the thing is, if they don't know how it comes about in the first place, it's not necessarily something that could be prevented, although it does usually come within families. Now, this still can't be prevented there. However, regular doctor's appointments, medications, avoiding alcohol and drugs, these are all things, if you suffer from this, these are help improve your livelihood. Stress reduction, maintaining a healthy weight, and maintaining social skills are all just key in helping someone remain functional when they have some schizophrenia. Now, my personal connection with it is that I have had family members, adopted family members, who have dealt with this within their family, and I've seen the outcome of someone who doesn't take care of themselves, and while while it is a disability, it is also your thing that you have to deal with, and you have to make sure you take care of yourself, because um, it does affect those around you as much as it affects yourself. And that's something that I've seen within friends and family. And my grandmother is a mental health counselor, so I do have a little bit of an understanding of the way therapies and different things like this go for individuals. These are my citations, and thank you for listening to my presentation. I very much appreciate it, and I hope that over the course of looking at some of the different the research, the definitions, and the misconceptions of schizophrenia, you have a better idea of what the disease is than you did when you came into this. Thank you.